My name is Orso Muneghina. I work for HealthNet TPO here in Amsterdam. I'm a senior program advisor, and I'm working in this field since 15 years now. A little bit by accident, actually, by love. Not so much for the field, more for my former girlfriend. But then I really got in love with the field. I started working with Save the Children Italy, and that was the time when there were the wars in the Balkans. So at the time I was working in what would be now the HIV-friendly spaces. They were called differently, and that's actually how I started. I'm here in my capacity of advisor for the programs we have ZNet TPO in many different countries. In particular, at the moment, I'm following the emergencies in Kurdistan and South Sudan. And this was a perfect occasion to meet some friends and also in a way to take stock of what is happening in the past years in the field. So I thought it was a good opportunity to learn from others and to see what is happening in the field. In general, every time what really changes me every time is talking to people, to so-called beneficiary clients, whatever you want to call them. That is something that I find motivating, and when these days we've been talking about resilience, coping, and so on, and we tend to forget how much we really get from the people we work with. That is what, at the end of the day, really motivates me to do this kind of work. Makes me happy much more than sitting behind the desk and developing programs and ideas. The moment you really work with people and you see not only the way they're struggling, but also the way they're dealing successfully with their problems, that for me is really rewarding. I don't have one, because to be honest, I really think and I hope that we don't work in isolation. So this, I think, was also one of the recommendations which is coming out from these meetings. Is the fact that whatever you do, you need to do with other people, you need to do with other organizations. I think one of the problems of the field is something we haven't discussed, is that sometimes we compete with each other in order to be innovative, in order to be different, and this sometimes is actually detrimental most of the time. So I believe more in synergies across sectors and within the sector. To be humble, I think, is important. Someone said that during the meeting, and I really agree with that, to be able to listen. That for me is one of the main advice, especially when you start. I know you have this urge to prove that you are good, that you know what to do, and you are the expert. I think you can be an expert, but you really have to be able to be an expert also in listening and learning from others. So especially when you start, and also later on, I think is an important quality. We had some example which I think were nice from the past 2 days of policymakers being also partners. It's not that easy. It's not automatic. Sometimes states are part of the problem. Sometimes we as organizations are part of the problems. So my advice would be also to be self-critical, more transparent. But I do believe in this, let's say, the possibility of having an open dialogue with the policymakers, I think, is important.